drift is the gap between what organizations say they will do and what actually happens. And it's a slow sort of deviation. And the issue is that deviation doesn't happen by choice. You're not actively choosing to change direction. It's just something that automatically happens. And that's my problem with drift. What you find is, if you look at a different example, a bad decision has a date and time. My big idea was that strategy is not the problem. It's poor execution and drift that's a problem. And so I tested this with CEOs, with executives in different industries, and in every boardroom that I was, testing this idea, it resonated. And I felt that, no, this is a thing. So then when I did the research in terms of, what to fix it, what I found was that the existing execution models had gaps. Either they were too dated and they didn't have the sort of, the AI, environment where things are moving, in a flash. And so with that gap, then I decided, no, let me build my own discipline. And that's how Focus5 came out. And as I was building Focus5, I said, wait a minute, this is bigger than just a talk. Okay. There's actually a book in here.
As an entrepreneur, in a world shaped by AI, rapid technological changes, and economic uncertainties, customer behavior and expectations shifting every single day, the question remains, how do you continue to innovate, to grow your enterprise and lead, most importantly, with confidence? The Super Lead Leadership Summit is designed for you entrepreneurs, founders, innovators, business builders who are ready to scale. Come join thought leaders, including Chairman of Alpha International, Ken Costa, former Miss South Africa, and global champion for women and girls, Shudufazo Musida, award-winning media entrepreneur, Anele Mgudwa, AI expert Simone Zanetti, and many, many more speakers as we unpack the opportunities and the challenges shaping the future of business. With the theme being igniting the future, you will gain valuable insights, meaningful connections, and practical leadership strategies to help you build a resilient and a future-ready organization. This is where entrepreneurs come gain practical insights. You get to connect with other leaders and potential funders, collaborate, discover what's next, bring your co-founders, bring your team, bring everyone that's involved in your enterprise, and let's meet at the Super Lead Leadership Summit, coming to you on the 4th of September. You absolutely cannot afford to miss this one. You can get yours and your team's tickets at our website at www.superlead.co.za. You can also get your tickets on the Howler platform. But here's the deal. You absolutely cannot afford to miss this. See you on the 4th of September at the Super Lead Leadership Summit, the leadership summit of the year. Hello, I am Dr. Mandaj Flaro, and on this week's episode of the Super Lead podcast series, we are joined by Nkululeko Khumalo. He is the Chief Operating Officer of Group Legal at Absa Group. And in this conversation, we unpack insights from his book, Drift Happens, and how Focus5 keeps strategy on track. Nkululeko, welcome to Super Lead podcast.
Thank you. Thank you for the invitation.
Lovely, lovely, lovely. So you have written this incredible book called Drift Happens.
Correct.
And we're going to go and deep dive into the book today. We obviously won't be able to cover everything.
Yep.
So everyone can go get their own copy and get into the details. But on this show, we like to first know who the author is. If you can kind of just tell us, who is Nkululeko?
Yeah, happy to do so. So I started my career as a mainframe programmer.
Okay, I like to even go before.
Before?
Before. Yeah. Where did you grow up, etc.?
No, I grew up in many different places. So
Okay.
I'm a child of exile.
Okay.
And so we moved around a lot. So yeah, my parents went to the UK, and then we came back, and so we moved
So
around.
I want to
quite a
hear the
lot.
details.
There's only so much I can say.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I went to many different schools. Because we moved around a lot. So when I lived with my parents, we moved 13 times.
13 times.
13 times.
And
so,
and how old were you
oh,
range-wise?
my entire schooling. So I never stayed in one school for more than 2 years.
How is that possible? So
No, yeah, so
you started
2 years
and then
exactly.
I started 2 the next year.
Exactly. So every 2 years I moved schools. Started boarding at standard 2, so grade 4 in today's terms, and yeah, boarding all the way through, but in different schools.
And then you have to make new friends.
Yes, so I think one of the things that I learned, and it's only from reflection.
Yes.
My wife explains that she can leave me alone for 2 seconds, and
Oh,
I think that's the muscle that I learned. It's
so good.
you're in a new environment, and then you sort of situational aware, and then you find your tribe. And so that's a muscle that I've learned. So yeah, she's like,
No, I'm curious what else you learned. How do you move from school to school, different region to different region?
It's crazy, yeah.
Including countries.
Including countries. So it's UK, it's Pretoria, it's Swaziland, it's back to Pretoria. So it's many schools. Joburg, yeah. So
Wow. Okay. Okay. And then you studied in one university at least for a degree.
no, again I continued multiple universities. Yeah, we had a little fight with my parents. I wanted to go IT. They wanted to go a different route, and so that was a bit of a battle. But we settled on IT. And I finished my IT qualification. Once I was done with my IT qualification, I then started off as a mainframe programmer at a financial institution. And there, so in my childhood, I'm also a fan of reading user manuals. And let me explain.
Yes, please.
So, and I preach this thing, and people
Tell
don't
me.
get it.
I think we must bring him back here, just for laughs and refreshment of just tell me more.
So now, whatever it is, if it's a new gadget, a new appliance, or a new car, I read the manual back to front. And what that does is, when something's wrong, I can fix it. I know more than the next person that, oh, this is what's wrong. I read about that thing, and then we can fix the thing. Now, when it came to starting at my first job,
Yes.
I knew the software because I read the software manual as a programmer.
Wow.
And I knew the product that much more than the next person.
Okay.
So my peers and people who were 5-10 years more experienced, they would take 5 to 10 lines of code to write something, and I could do it in one line because I knew that obscure function that could solve the problem.
Okay.
So that was an advantage that I've carried through all my life. So yeah, read the manuals, guys.
Read the manuals.
After the financial institution, then I moved over to WITS Computer Network Services, where we were responsible for the student system. Mm-hmm. So that's application, registration,
Okay.
residences,
Okay.
financial aid, timetable, results, exam results, as well as graduation.
Okay.
So that whole life cycle. And there we ran a system, especially when it's the application side. So we get the matric results, and then it automatically spews out the acceptance letters and the rejections.
So it was you behind all of that.
Yes. And then the middle was then left for January, because we got the results in December in those days.
Yes.
And then the middle was left in January for human intervention. So, I mean, we were running automated decisions 20 years before this AI thing, became a thing.
Studying.
Then from the WITS Computer Network Services, I moved to Munich Reinsurance.
Yes.
And then after that, I moved to Accenture. That was tough, but
Say more.
very rewarding. No, I mean, it was the consultant.
Consulting is the most noble professionalism.
100%, 100%. And the reason why I moved there was because I wanted to sort of grow my business acumen.
Yeah.
And it definitely did that and more.
And the hours.
Yeah, no, crazy hours. I mean, I remember there was one project that we were working on with intense deadlines. I never saw my wife awake for 2 weeks because I'd get home late, sleep, wake up, wash, go. We never saw each other awake for 2 weeks. It was madness. It was madness. But no, very. I've now got calluses from that experience. And then I went back to the financial institution that I started at and went in various roles, ran a product in the cash management business, and now where I am now is the leading operations for Group Legal. And then, and now
You're the author!
of Drift
You're the
Happens.
author! And we are published by the same publisher,
Yes,
Tracy McDonald, who is on my case. Tracy, please extend some grace here, if you're listening. Writing a book, it's tough.
Yes.
It's a lot of hours, a lot of things happens to you, doubts and all manner of things. And I'm always wondering, why go through that? What's happening in the world today that called this book to be published and to be in my hands?
So I call it a happy accident. I was actually I'm on a course with an outfit called Missing Link. And yes, and I'm busy building a new keynote. So I spoke in Saudi some years ago, and I felt that I need to grow that muscle better. So I reached out to this outfit, and so we in part of the Story to Stage program, there's the steps that you take, and one of them is going to test your big idea out in the field before you get to the keynote. And so my big idea was that strategy is not the problem. It's poor execution and drift that's a problem. And so I tested this with CEOs, with executives in different industries, and in every boardroom that I was, testing this idea, it resonated. And I felt that, no, this is a thing. So then when I did the research in terms of, what to fix it, what I found was that the existing execution models had gaps. Either they were too dated and they didn't have the sort of, the AI, environment where things are moving, in a flash. And so with that gap, then I decided, no, let me build my own discipline. And that's how Focus5 came up. And as I was building Focus5, I said, wait a minute, this is bigger than just a talk. There's actually a book in here. And then I made the mistake of presenting the idea to Tracy. She was like, right, here's your deadline.
And it feels far away on the day.
Oh my gosh, that's the toughest thing I've done.
So what does that mean? What is strategic drift? When you just look at it, you go, I agree. Even life, I think even morality, I don't think people make a big leap out. So it's a drift. Spiritual disciplines, you wake up and then you've drifted. We can go one area after the other. Marriage, I don't think it just happens. People drift. So you look at the title, you go, I agree, and then you go, say more.
So drift is the gap between what organizations say they will do and what actually happens. And it's a slow sort of deviation. And the issue is that deviation doesn't happen by choice. You're not actively choosing to change direction. It's just something that automatically happens. And that's my problem with drift. What you find is, if you look at a different example, a bad decision has a date and time. So when you make a bad decision, this is when it will happen.
Yes.
This is sometimes you even have minutes that say, hey, this is when we made the bad decision. But drift doesn't have that. Drift is a silent, slow decline, of things that you said are important, hidden behind things that felt urgent. And that's the issue. That's what drift is. Yeah.
And then you talk about now more so we living in this age of attention decay. What's happening?
Yeah, so there's actually two concepts that I sort of lean on, and that's in the first early chapters that I speak on, the cause of drift. And there's two elements, and they're both human, but then when we put it into organization, they get very complex. So the first one is the addition without elimination.
Sure.
Yes. So we as humans have evolved over eons that when we're faced with a problem, we add.
Sure.
We add new tasks, we add
Yes.
new reports, we add new processes, we add new dashboards.
Yes.
We hardly ever subtract.
Yes.
And behavioral scientists call this addition bias. And what happens is we keep adding, and every quarter the load builds. So that's
and I can attest to this. So you come month end, sales are down,
Yeah.
and then your leader goes, so what are we gonna do? Then you come up with a new list of initiatives. So we're gonna do that, we're gonna do that, and then you come next month, maybe quality scores are down, and it comes with a whole new list of initiatives.
Yeah, and we hardly ever stop. Now, the second compounding human issue is that we've got a working memory, and it's called attention decay or attention scarcity. Okay. Now, we've got a working memory of 7 items, plus minus 2. And so a leadership team that is trying to execute on 14 initiatives is not trying to be ambitious. They're actually going beyond the physical limits of a human being. And so we add because that's in our DNA, but then we don't have the attention capacity to attend to all those things, and we then decline. We drift over time, and that's the cause behind drift.
And then in the early pages, you even outline sort of like the day. You know, you start off as a cup of coffee, etc. You want to just walk us through that a little bit?
Yeah. So we translate it to multiple areas, and you just touched on it, right? So from a personal capacity, I like to use the example of gym membership.
Yes.
So you start in January.
Tabi, please tell Nkululeko not to go to touch gym. We're coming out of winter, so some of us
I've got the same issue. So I mean, you start January, you're like, no, I'm got this. I'm going to gym 5 days a week. And you do January. You're doing it perfectly well. Then comes Feb, you hit a bit of a speed wobble, but you catch up over the weekend. And now August, you haven't gone to gym in weeks. Now, you never decided in May or June to say, I'm stopping. It's this thing that just gradually declines.
You never had a date and time of making that decision.
Yeah.
To say no more.
Yeah, it's just a slow decline, and that's the major issue. And now taking that, and we compound those 7-8 months into a day at the office, you start the day with 5 things.
Okay.
And you come in, 8 o'clock, you've got your first meeting, and then there's an urgent call, and there's urgent report, and. Before you know it, you look up, it's 6 p.m., and those 5 things have not been touched. And so this is compounded between the hundreds and thousands of people in the organization, and this is the slow decline that's happening in the background while we're working very hard. We feel very busy, but we haven't accomplished things that we said we would.
Sure. Now, I think we all feel the pain, whether it's at a strategic drift or it's at a personal development and the rest. Now, how do we fix? You have come up with the framework for this. Can we just touch the elements one at a time? Maybe you can give us an overview of the framework, and then we go slowly one at a time.
No, 100%. So the first part is I'm very particular in calling it a discipline and not a framework. Yeah.
Okay, good.
And the reason
you actually do. And I'm an academic, so I like frameworks, models, and all of that. So I apologize.
No, don't apologize. And it's very I'm very specific about it. So frameworks change the way we think about things, but a discipline changes the way we act. So
good.
I'll
like that.
I'll give an example.
I actually like that.
I'll give an example. So I had my annual checkup.
Yes.
Two weeks ago, but yeah.
Yes. God.
And they told me, I need to reduce this middle section. So
I think I've got the same script. I'm convinced.
So I know that to do that, I need to go to gym, and I need to do crunches, I need to do planks, I need to lift weights.
Those things.
And knowing those elements is a framework. But actually waking up on a
And
Tuesday morning,
That's a discipline.
That's a discipline.
Oh, beautiful. Love it.
and
love
and,
it,
and
love
that's
it,
what
love
we
it.
need to break
More
through it.
of.
Yes.
We need more of disciplines.
Correct.
Yes, we have a lot of frameworks, but
Correct.
we do need.
To change the behavior, to
beautiful.
break the drift hole that's on us. So the discipline of Focus 5 is 5 moves to get us out of drift. It's sort of the things that tackle. And it's broken up into 5 moves. First one is frame, the next one is own, the next one is cadence, then it's unblock and sustain. And happy to go through each of them.
Good. So, frame, the art of choosing the few that matter.
Correct. So in frame, it's it's choosing 3 to 5 things that we want to focus on. Everything outside of those 3 to 5 strategic bets gets labeled as not now or stop. And that's the key thing. Yes. Not now because maybe we don't have the right skills yet, or it's not the right environment, or there's multiple reasons and you have to list that down. Or not now because we're still focused on these 3 to 5 elements. Then the stopped is things that you stop and not pause, actually kill. And that's something that is very hard for us to do. When we start things, we do this huge celebration of starting elements.
When we kill them, there is no event.
And I'm arguing we must have funerals. We must have funerals for the project that we're stopping.
We must have a day like
No, this thing we're killing.
We're killing this thing, and then we must have after tears.
Yes.
Oh God. But you know what happens though? So your leader goes to an exco, and then there's some idea. They come out of those places with more things to do. And then someone attends a conference. Someone listens to this podcast. And then there's just... So are you saying that whenever something comes, we must kind of go, okay, priority, not now, and stopped. We must almost have that whiteboard.
Yes. Yeah. And it's that discipline, because it's very hard to not add a new idea. Because new ideas are like, let's start this thing. And so what I'm arguing is, wait, look at it. Where does it fit in those 3 to 5 bets? If you want it into 3 to 5 bets, then you have to move those either to a stopped or not now. Something has to clear space, because we just build in this capacity, and then you've got these 14 or more things that you're trying to do, and you can't attend to all of them. And so this is then leads to drift.
Yeah, I can't remember who's that author, The 4 Disciplines of Execution. He said there will always be more ideas than there's capacity to execute.
Correct. That's exactly it.
Okay. Build a coalition of clarity. So I love the word clarity. It's one of my favorite words. Say more.
Yes, and this is when we then build onto own, right? And the next move is own. And own is where we're saying that these 3 to 5 bets have one owner, not a committee. Multiple leaders. Because a committee is is better for governance, but when you want execution, you need one person to decide, to have the mandate to say no, not now, not this, to unblock for the other colleagues.
So even if the project has got this, naturally, I think more and more things we do have a version of integration. So maybe when I roll out a new system, and it's gonna change how finance is done. So you either have an owner being the CFO, owner being the CIO.
Yeah.
And normally they go, okay, CIO and CFO, you own this thing.
Yeah, no, then now we're then starting to create noise, because then who has mandate to choose what and which direction are we going, and then it becomes very confusing, especially for those down the line, because you don't know where to take what to, and people get stuck, and then we cause drift. So I'm arguing for one owner, but still there's still layers in it. So there's 3 layers that I sort of document in the book, and what I speak about is then, so you've got this layer 1, which is the owner, the one owner per bet. Then the next layer is the sort of the ones that then make the decisions, because it's
form of a steerco.
Correct. There's mandates that each level has to help unblock things that get stuck. And then you've got the last level 3, that actually does the execution. So your analysts and et cetera, et cetera.
Okay. But the rule is here, don't have 3 owners.
No.
Just because something touches IT, finance, and operations.
No, you need one.
it doesn't mean that now all these three people are owning the same thing.
Correct.
Okay, excellent. Cadence, create the one bit organization. Say more.
So now, Cadence, here I'm arguing that we need to get a new rhythm in reviewing our strategy execution.
Okay.
Normally what we do it quarterly. And that leaves a lot of room.
That's if you're lucky.
Exactly. Exactly. So I'm arguing not even monthly, I'm arguing for weekly.
We must review strategy weekly.
Yeah, review strategy execution weekly.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and that's the weekly rhythm. So, Tuesday morning, 9 o'clock is when we're reviewing how are we executing on our strategic objectives. Those 3 to 5 bets, how are we doing? And so we then adjust the needle and do all the necessary adjustments where needed. Or if there's some big calamity that happens externally, we can make quick movements. Because there's so much that can happen in a quarter. And then when you're reviewing at the quarter end, it's way too late.
So some people want to argue, a week is too short for something big.
There's measurable things that you're doing, and if you are using focus, if you're focusing on your strategic objectives, then things move. So if we're looking at it quarterly, it's not. And there's an example that I got. I think I read about in Senegal, and they implemented a new program for malaria detection, and their program was they used to do it on a quarterly basis, and what they found was there was flare-ups and just the various malaria diseases that would happen in between those quarters. And so what they did was they reduced it to a weekly review. So they had volunteers going to each house with a weekly cadence, and they had a huge decline in malaria in those villages.
And I imagine because you're looking at this weekly, it reinforces the focus.
Correct.
You just you don't drift easily.
Correct.
Essentially, no wonder this framework helps us arrest the drift.
Correct.
Because on Tuesday you gotta talk about what you're doing about the thing we said was the most important.
Yeah, don't come and tell us an update about an update. No. Tell us what is week.
No update about an update. But tell me, what's wrong if someone says, these are our top 10 bets?
Yeah.
Is top 10 a lot?
It's too much. Already we're going beyond the seven items. There's too much. We don't have the capacity for that. So if you think about it, there's two sides of this. We've got the strategic bets that we're working on, and then we've got your run, your day-to-day that you're running. So when I'm arguing in the book, when you look at the own chapter, I'm saying you should have roughly around 20 to 25% of your people working on the strategic bets.
Okay.
The rest focus on the run.
Okay.
Yeah. And so there's that element. But where we get strategic drift is where people then start just focusing on those urgent things, client issue, and that's where we then focusing on the strategy execution. And then when you get to the end of the year, you haven't accomplished your stretch. And so you split it up.
Okay. Yeah. So because the hard part is especially for a large organization, you've got these senior executives that will likely be more than 7.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. So each senior executive has got at least 1 or 2.
Yeah.
Right, like we can start from, I don't know, people's, IT, finance. So everyone might want to see themselves in the top 7.
Yeah.
And then you are saying 8 is too much.
Too much. 3 to 5.
Even though the exco is made up of, I don't know, 9, 10 people.
So let's say the bet is that we want to grow our revenue by 30% by 2029. Okay, so that's your one bet. Okay. In that bet, across each of the areas,
I see.
There's a contribution. Now, in that contribution, let's say it's the sales team. Yeah. The sales team are not going to go and look at the entire market and try and attack the entire market. They have to go segment by segment. They're going to say, look, we're focused on this segment. We're going to grow this segment. Then we're going to look at. And that's how they then reduce this big behemoth into 3 to 5 things that they're going to be doing for that year.
But and you know how hard it is to let go of some of the segments.
Oh, yeah. It's very hard. It's very hard. But if you look at the likes of a ShopRite, a Capitec, they've done it very well. You've seen them very disciplined on the few things that matter. Once they've solidified that, then they move and start adding other things. Yeah.
Yeah, but the likes of the financial institutions,
Yes.
you work for, there's a head of
Yes.
segments.
Yes.
And then what to do?
Yes. Yeah. We need to stop things. We need funerals.
But that funeral might have someone's job on it.
Yeah, that's the thing, and it becomes very political. So it's not easy. Stopping is not easy. You're stepping on people's toes. You try and stop something now, you're gonna make an enemy.
Yes.
Yeah, for sure. So it's not easy. It's so hard.
These disciplines require courage.
Yeah, no, for sure. And it's a leadership element that needs, because that's, we need leaders to make a decision to say, no, we're stopping this. And we're only going to be focusing on this few things that matter. Yeah.
Yeah, but because so you'll be okay, we're gonna focus here.
Yeah.
And then Capitec results come out.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, why aren't we? Why aren't we there?
Yeah.
Why aren't we doing what they're doing?
Because and then it leads to new ideas to say, hey, how do we?
Yeah.
And that's a trap. Because this firefighting is a best friend to drift. Continuously firefighting, then we lose focus on the core things that matter, and then now we're doing firefighting. Yeah, no.
All right, let's go to the next one. Unblock. Yes. Turning friction into flow.
Yeah. So here I'm arguing that we need faster, clearer communication down and up.
Yo.
And, yeah.
This is tough. Okay. Yeah, this is a tough. This is
So what I'm
tough school of Nkululeko. Let's hear it.
And what I'm arguing here is that we need to have the strategy, the 3 to 5 bets, flow all the way down to the front line.
And you keep repeating 3 to 5.
Yeah,
not 10.
No.
Not 8.
No. We need to reduce this thing. We don't have the capacity, and this thing of adding, thinking that we can do everything doesn't work. And this is what is drift. I mean, we've been doing this thing over and over, and I've seen it all over all companies I've worked at. Yeah, so it's then, unfiltered all the way down to the front line, so that the individual at the front line knows, what does this mean? What does this 3 to 5 bets mean for me on Monday morning? What do I need to do differently? Add communication down, because you can do an example in any organization. Take 10 people and ask them, what are the priorities, top 3 priorities for your organization? And you're going to get 10 different answers. And so that's the one thing, so that everyone is executing on reading from the same hymn book. Then that's the down.
No.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go there.
And
no,
then,
but let's go this down one first, and then we're gonna go bottom up.
Okay, yeah.
Often companies will do the strategy work.
Yeah.
Approved by board.
Yeah.
And they've got it here, and then there's a big celebration. Board approved. And then it goes into some version of KPIs.
Yeah.
And then there's the roadshow.
Yeah.
CEO roadshow.
Yes.
He goes to the regions.
Yeah.
She or he goes to the regions
Yeah.
and everywhere else, and they've got this beautifully crafted document.
Yes.
Is that enough?
No, it's not enough. So drift actually happens right after the applause. When everyone has seen this, they clap.
Yeah.
Drift starts. Because when do they go back and look at that document? Have they really, does everyone in that roadshow session understand what it means for them? No. There's a process of unpacking it for each individual and defining this is what it means for you in your day-to-day. And that's what we're talking about in terms of filtering all the way down.
That sounds like a lot of work. Just practicalize it a little bit more.
Yeah. So I'll give you. There's a study that I was in my research that I documented this in the book. So it's found that only 5% of individuals in an organization understand the strategy. Sure. 5%. That's a problem. Yeah. So in a company of 300 people, it's like only 15. Or something like that. Exactly. It's a huge problem. So those people that went on that offsite and are doing this roadshow are the only ones that know this thing. Sure. Everyone else is like, this thing, I don't know what it means for me. And so what it means is then from this level is then distilling it for the next level. That level owns it and then says, okay, this is what it means for us in our environment. And we translate it into our 3 to 5 bets aligned to the group focus and where the group is going. Yeah. So
And how do you know that you've moved from 15% maybe to like 80%?
Well, you can see it in execution. So when you look back at your movements, if you look at what has been accomplished, even in a month, you can see that, hey, we actually, and not activity, impact.
Right.
Yeah. Because that's another thing we like doing. We like measuring how many hours we spent on this thing.
Yes.
Not what is the impact on, the efficiency, what is not the impact on the customer, etc. Yeah. So, that's what I'm arguing.
Ish. So
That's
bottom,
it down.
yeah. So we're gonna top down, and then what you're saying is top down. Yes, the roadshows are great. The music and the parties are amazing.
Yeah.
But that's like that's the beginning of drift.
Yeah.
There's a lot more work
100%.
immediately after the CEO has done the speech.
Correct. 100%. Yeah. Defining what it means for each individual on their KPIs. What does it mean for them, for them to act on? Yeah.
Lovely. Bottom up now. What happens?
Then coming back up, then it's the blockers.
Okay.
So and I've seen it, right? There's reports that get to your desk and you're like, wait a minute. And when you ask someone actually at the front line, it's completely different.
Okay.
And there's different agendas and people's egos that have then massaged this thing. By the time it comes to you, then you make a decision on the wrong thing.
Oh, so something is happening at the branch.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna have to filter all the way to Exco.
Yeah.
But in this process, there are bloggers.
Yeah, there's massaging, there's whatnot. So what I'm arguing there is then we need unfiltered, direct, communication of what the blocker is. And so that the right decisions can be made to unblock whatever it is.
What does this look like?
So it could be dashboards. So a dashboard that we don't have to wait for manual reporting, an automated dashboard that you can just see, this is what's going on. Oh, this is the indicators. I can make a decision to help unblock it for the colleagues.
I see. Yeah. So that could mean someone super senior might pick up the phone and call someone in the front line.
Yeah.
And without talking to their manager and their manager's managers.
Correct, yeah. But with the ownership, there's mandates, right? So each person has a mandate to execute. Because a lot of the time people are like, hey, I don't know what to do here, and it goes up, and then there's also the delay. So we want speed. In this environment, we want speed of execution as well. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
Lovely. So we must sustain this, which is our fifth or sixth element.
Fifth, the last one.
The last one.
Yeah.
Making focus endure.
Yes. So
That's
here,
hard.
It's very hard. And there's multiple elements to this. The one that I speak to is that there is processes and systems in place in the organization that support the focus.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you don't have we don't distill this discipline of we're meeting every week to run through the execution. We are rewarding. There's incentives as well.
Okay,
we're rewarding for the right behavior. We've got the right skill set, and then the last piece is that the culture.
Okay.
And that's the really. So, and where you see that this is all working is that if a leader goes on leave for a month and comes back and still the discipline is still continuing, then you know it's working. When someone comes from external into the organization, then you see that they incorporate this culture, continue to sustain. So it's a big piece.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yes. This is the Focus
5. Yes. Discipline.
5.
Yeah. It's a lot.
Discipline.
It's a lot.
I was tempted to say framework.
I know. It's there.
I was corrected.
I even get it wrong sometimes. Let me admit.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely love this.
Yeah.
What I'm curious about, just more broadly, is if you think about entrepreneurs and small businesses.
Yeah.
Someone set out to do something.
Yeah.
And then there's like a little project here that can bring cash. And then you latch on to that. That's one. And then the next one is, like you go to these SME conferences.
Yes.
Or like some of the networking sessions.
Yeah.
And then Nkululeko, we must meet, we must partner, we must collaborate. And I wonder how might you talk to SME leaders and entrepreneurs about the idea of focus.
Yes, yes.
In the midst of, hey, I could do this thing, I get a quick buck here, I can collaborate with this one, collaborate with that one, and then before you know it, we don't even know what Nkululeko.com is doing.
Exactly, 100%. And that was something surprising for me. So when I was writing the book, I was writing it for, these complex, large organizations. Then at the launch, well, first, when I was recording the audio, so Dineo Langa did the audio for me, and she works in the arts environment. And she was saying that actually this book, aligns to a lot of the things that she does in her industry. I was very surprised. I'm like, oh, okay, I didn't write it for that industry, but there's some application in there. At the launch, there were some SMEs and entrepreneurs in the audience, and they were saying, I need this thing in my organization. And so what I would say to, the SME and entrepreneur community is that when you've got finite resources and you need to use the discipline, you need to these bets and not be, hung up on all these other things that come out. Stick to your core, your stubborn core, I call it, and then execute on that. And then once you've done that and where capacity allows, then you can start adding things. Yeah. So stick to the stubborn core. Yeah.
So what do we do with all these new ideas and the new partnerships and the new collaboration? What?
Yeah. Not now. Not now. Yeah.
I need a very long whiteboard
to say.
But, okay, because so I try to so especially in this day now with Audible and a ton of content on YouTube. So I almost sometimes I can go through 2 or 3 books in a week because you can listen to a book, put it on 2x or 2.5x, drive to sit in traffic to Sandton and back. You almost finish the book. In some instances. And then that book was intriguing, and then it leads you to another one, and leads you to another one. Most of these trips. When I'm at gym, I'm listening to a book. Then I'm buzzing with ideas. So I'm just like, so what you're saying is I must take all that stuff I'm hearing and carefully consider them. Only a few you can trickle to support the priorities. But most of them probably not now.
Not now. Or if there's one that's really, burning, then you need to look at your priorities and say, actually, I'm going to put this to stop and then incorporate this new thing that is really burning, that really solves this critical thing that I need to be focused on.
Sure. Tough. So now, so you started at a large organization, and now I'm sort of inviting you to think about SMEs. Now I would like to invite you to sort of use the same discipline.
Yes.
To talk about individuals and families. And maybe what say you?
No, and it's the same thing, because as a family unit, you've got very finite resources, very finite, individuals, etc. And it's the same thing. What are the 3 to 5 things that you are looking as a family, and execute on those? And once you accomplish those, and those are solidified, they move into sort of the run, and you can think about the next things that either you put in the not now or these.
Families must have the not now bucket as well. Because you go visit Nkuleko's family, you're like, they have got 1, 2, 3, 4.
Exactly.
And then you're driving back in the car. But why don't we? So now my new language is not now.
Not now. And what you do then is you put categories for when it becomes in the 3 to 5 bets.
Okay. So if our financial resources look like this, once this one moves out of school, once we finish the renovation, then we can.
Correct.
I am with you. Okay, you are saving a lot of. Because there's a lot of drift that happens there. And then, because kids can just shout louder, and then...
Exactly. I want an iPad. Okay,
yes.
Right? But...
his friend has got an iPad. Yeah.
But then, what I always use with my daughter, and she must block it, is marks. Our marks, at the level.
Arrive at this level, you will get your iPad.
Then we go to now we're executing on the iPad. But it's not now until the marks reach those criteria.
lovely. So we brought it down to families. Maybe one more word for us to just reinforce this thing on an individual.
Yeah. No, so I still subscribe to, the framing and use framing, and that's the most easiest thing to implement now. But always, before you add things, look at where your attention has been going. Sure. I think what you can look at, what has your past month or 90 days been? Accomplish the things that you wanted to accomplish. And you can look at, where have I spent time, where have I spent money? Then that will tell you how you've been drifting. Stop things. Sure. Clear the field before you start adding. Sure. So that's the sort of thing that I'll leave with it.
And then I'm curious about how might we create a cadence with self? Your thoughts?
Yeah. So and it's individual, right? It depends on what are the 3 to 5 bets or 3 to 5 priorities that you have. So for you, and you just mentioned the example, is that you want to go through a certain number of books in a month or year or whatever it is, and you then make sure.
No. So I don't have a. When I was younger, I used to have the goal. So now I'm driven by. So I just sort of lean into curiosity. So we read your book, and then you quote someone, and then I find myself going to get that book, and then that leads me to the other. What technology has allowed me to do is to go through a lot of books, but the goal is not. Yeah, we used to do it when we were younger. There was a bit of flexing as well, which was not like I read 100 books a year. But I think now we read a lot more. But the goal is to try to understand something. So let's say the goal is what you said your medical practitioner said. Yeah. So the goal is to reduce this middle part.
So I know that I need to go to gym. What am I doing in the mornings that is stopping me from going to gym? I need to clear that space. I need to stop something to create space for, and it always starts with stopping.
Or stop something in the evening. Yeah. That allows you to sleep early to create capacity for the morning. Correct. For the morning gym session.
So we need to create space because there's only so much that we can do as an individual and so much time in there. So you have to stop things. You have to stop so that you create space to go in. I mean, and going back to the example of reading for curiosity, I'll go back to the original element of reading user manuals. And what that does, listen, hey, I'm preaching this thing. I'll tell you, if you get anything from today, read user manuals. So what it does is allows us to connect dots. It's the same thing with books. You read something, and the problem for it won't come up now. But it'll come up 6-12 months later.
Oh, I'm with you.
Where you've got this unique problem, and then you've got that concept that you read in that book, and then you get this aha moment, and that's the magic. And this is why we continuously read, and So it's for that magic that happens. Yeah.
No, I love that too. Yeah. I see it when I teach at the business school, and then you're like, oh wow. Yeah. So because a student might ask something, and then just the book you went through.
Correct. Yeah.
4 or 5 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Right. Well, we're at the top of the hour. So we will ask, where do people find the book?
Yes. So it's on print. It's on Amazon. It's on Take-A-Lot. It's on Exclusive Books. On audio,
Please and thank you for.
It's on audio.
I want to talk to all the authors out there to say, please, can you do the Lord's work? And translate your book into audio. It's a lot easier these days. 90 minutes gym workout. 2x speed. Yes. You're almost more than halfway through the book.
Yeah. So I mean, this is a business book, so you're just thinking about the audience. They don't have the kind of time to sit down and read physical, so audio was an option. So Audible, iTunes, Spotify.
No, I think audio should be authors there. I think audio should be like the baseline.
So and all that information is on my website, nkulekokhumalo.com, and all the buying options are there.
Lovely, lovely. Do you want to give our listeners a challenge? Just one thing they must start to do.
Yeah, so I think it's to stop. Look at the 3 buckets. What are the things that are in your 3 to 5 objectives? What are the things that are not now, and what are the things that you should stop? Yeah, that's the...
Oh, Nkululeko, thank you so much. Thank you for coming through. Thank you for this fantastic conversation. Thank you for writing this book and the work that you continue to do.
Thank you.
Massive thanks. We have Nkululeko in studio, everybody. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Oh, lovely, man.
Thank you.